TaybackAttorneys.com.
Lillard ushers it across the timeline. Still on the dribble. Draws the contact. Puts the shot up and hits it with a foul.
The Bucks are heading to Indy to break the 1-1 tie. Game 3 of round 1 against the Pacers begins today at 4 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, another person dead after a 3-car crash.
I'm Julia Fellow, remembering a tragedy a decade later.
I'm Debbie Lozga, and trouble in Ozaukee County, in Grafton to be exact. Westbound Highway 60 is closed right now at Coip Road, so you're going to need to avoid that area. Your best bet would be to, if you're heading westbound on Highway 60, head north on 12th Avenue or Highway O. Take that up to Cedar Creek Road. Take that all the way over, and you can get back on using Highway I, and then you can get back onto Highway 60. By the way, if you do head through Cedarburg, Washington Avenue is going to be really tied up, especially right around where 181 meets up with Highway 60, that whole area in Five Corners. So that is going to be kind of tied up as well. Otherwise, southbound 43, we've got backups from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. The northbound side slow right through the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keefe. And westbound 94, you are slow from before the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, chance for showers rolls in here. Breezy, a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy early in the day, windy and warm. Rain possible late in the day. A high of 78. It's currently 53 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a second person has died after a deadly crash near 27th and St. Paul on Tuesday. A 65-year-old woman who was taken to the hospital has died. A 69-year-old man in the same car died Tuesday. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says a vehicle sped away from a deputy attempting a traffic stop and crashed moments later after running a red light and hitting 2 cars in the process. The 24-year-old male driver of the striking vehicle was arrested and is in stable condition at the hospital.
Franklin police warn of a rise in vehicle break-ins. Thieves are targeting parking lots at parks, golf courses, and other locations where you may be leaving your vehicles unattended. Franklin police recommends never leaving your phone, purse, or wallet or other items of high value visible in your car. Cover them. Please keep them safe in a trunk even, or leave them at home.
Tuesday will mark 10 years since Dontre Hamilton was shot and killed by police in Milwaukee's Red Arrow Park. Dontre's brother, Nate Hamilton, discussed with Wisconsin's Midday News whether his family got justice.
No, I don't feel like we have justice. I feel like what we have is now the ability to continue to fight for justice for other families with other families. You know, justice would have been, Christopher Manny seeing a day in court for us. Whether it was a good outcome or a bad outcome, I feel like justice still should be played out in the courtroom.
Hamilton says you cannot blame an entire group like the police for what happened.
These actions aren't the police force. These are still individual acts.
The Hamilton family is hosting events in the community this weekend to remember Dontre's life.
Careers after incarceration.
We are creating opportunities that support change.
April is Second Chance Month, and Community Reintegration Center Superintendent Chantel Jones says inmates at their facility want that second chance. Jason Turner has been at the facility for 6 months, charged with bail jumping.
Trying to take it all in and get as much positive knowledge as I can before I return back into society.
Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley saying,
we want them to become better. Let's give them more responsibility, but also make sure we can hold them accountable.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Campus protests grow across the country. Students in the Washington, D.C. area joined together in one encampment, calling on colleges and universities to remove anything related to Israel. ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
They made an interesting decision here in D.C., which was to make a collective citywide statement. So there are actually students behind the barricades from Georgetown University, American University, the University of Maryland, as well as GW. And it was interesting to me today that they talked about sort of how that spirit of a sort of a citywide movement was important to them to stand together as one.
Not following protest guidelines at UW-Madison will have consequences. That's the warning.
While no clashes like others around the country have happened yet at major Wisconsin colleges, UW-Madison Dean of Students Christina Olstad and Campus Police Chief Brent Pilsch warn in the email, quote, failing to abide by these limitations can and will have consequences, both within our Code of Student Conduct and more broadly under Wisconsin law, end quote. UW's planned May 10th spring commencement is still on as scheduled. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, to tip or not to tip?
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:05.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
I'm looking for the fastest and easiest way to sell my home, and I keep hearing one name over and over. So I asked people, why Grandview Homes instead of a real estate agent?
I decided that spending the time and money to rehab the unit and sell it through conventional means was not in my best interest.
Right, you were anxious to sell your place quickly, so no time for tours, listings, or any of that. What's the process with Grandview like?
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They sent someone out the same day. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly.
Sounds like you'd recommend them.
I would recommend this company to anyone in a position of having to move quickly and with no hassle.
No hassle?
No hassle.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. We buy every home as is, and you'll get a fair cash offer in just hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Make this summer the best one yet. Let Fox World Travel plan your next family vacation. Whether it's a magical Disney escape, an all-inclusive resort in paradise, or a thrilling European adventure, we offer exclusive savings for your family. Enjoy exciting activities, educational experiences, or peaceful retreats where you can relax and recharge with our trusted partners like Globus Family of Brands, Disney, and Insight Vacations. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to start planning your summer vacation today.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out geistdoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:07.
American consumers are being asked to tip more than ever, and a recent study reveals the depths of the gracious out-of-pocket costs.
It's called tipflation.
I'm purchasing an office chair online, and they're asking me if I want to leave a tip.
Being asked to leave a gratuity for an item that, well,
20% on a sweatshirt purchase.
A new survey conducted by Talker Research finds the average person reluctantly tips more than $37 a month due to the pressure or awkwardness of the options presented to them.
Are we tipping at drive-thrus?
That's about $450 a year in guilt-induced gratuity. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Couple of scheduling things for tonight. The Packers have 4 picks in the draft tonight. Giannis is out. Coverage of Bucks basketball at 4 o'clock here on WTMJ this afternoon. And Brewers host the Yankees. Tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 7:10.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic ProAdapt Hybrid with ease adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, happy Friday.
Yes.
We've made it to Friday. We've got a lot of stuff that we're chasing today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Julia, where do we start?
Hero 8th grader.
I love this story. Glendale River Hills School District. Here's the deal. 8th grader and his classmates are on a bus. The bus driver loses consciousness, has a medical emergency. The bus starts to veer. It's going toward oncoming traffic. And this little guy, A.C. Holland III, jumps into action. He jumps up by the bus driver, and he moves the driver's foot off the gas pedal, applies the brake, and pulls the bus over. Then he calls 911 and tells the younger students, call your parents, let them know what's going on. And then he calls his grandmother, who's a nurse. He's a little superstar.
True leader.
A.C. Holland III, nice work, a little hero. This is great.
Beautiful smile.
And what's the second thing?
Major disruption for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, so Kyle Rittenhouse in Clemson, South Carolina, and he's getting ready to give a speech. He's getting paid a lot of money to give a speech, and protests break out. Protesters interrupting his speech, and as a matter of fact, they had to be taken out of there. The speech did continue. He spoke for about an hour about how guns should be allowed on campus. No one was injured. The speech did go on. Rittenhouse is making a tour of college campuses talking about gun rights as we speak. All right, what's the third thing?
One of the most unique dogs ever.
What do you think of this little dog?
Adorable.
It's a 5-legged dog up for adoption at the Wisconsin Humane Society with a unique limb. An extra limb, actually. The dog has an extra leg. It's a 5-legged puppy. The back paw basically has 2 legs and all the parts of the legs. It has an extra femur, tibia, fibula, 4 additional toes. The dog's name is Bella, and Bella walks and runs like any other puppy, just with a slight limp.
Wow, what a superpower.
They're saying it's like the unicorn of dogs. The dog is happy. The dog is up for adoption. The dog just this afternoon went up for adoption. And the Wisconsin Humane Society is saying that, man, they have a lot of dogs available right now. More than 100 dogs are available for adoption. It's more than they usually have this time of year. So if you want a puppy, a rescue dog, especially from a place like the Humane Society, would be a great choice. You can go see Bella and all the other dogs. I think this is a great idea.
The dog's just 6 months old.
Yeah, little pup. It is 3:13 at WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
John Mercure here for Otto's Wine and Spirits. It's my regularly scheduled stop on Fridays on the way home from work, because Cocktail Friday is a thing in my house, and everything I need for my cocktails is at Otto's Wine and Spirits. Even if you don't want fancy cocktail, best beer selection, huge beer coolers, all the seltzers, and the wine aisles at Otto's. Incredible. Employee-owned, friendly staff, 7 locations. Otto's Wine and Spirits, open 7 days a week. I go in Menominee Falls, but they've got locations in Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Milwaukee, Cedarburg. They know what they're doing. They're going to help you out. It's great price, great selection, around since 1945. Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Now's the time to stock up on summer gear. And when you buy it from St. Vincent de Paul, you can get a whole lot for a lot less than you think. Men's, women's, and children's swimsuits and shorts, cute summer dresses, polos, and button-downs for the guys. And you'll find the lowest prices on bikes and rollerblades, too. Make your summer great with great deals from St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. Call Universal Windows Direct today, 414-410-2000. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. No limits. Plus, they'll upgrade your new windows to triple pane glass for free. Extra protection from the elements. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Tell them I told you to call, and you get $250 off your order. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Wisconsin State Fair has $12 group tickets on sale now. Hurry, the sale ends April 30th. Visit wistatefair.com to save big for group tickets.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Things are moving a little bit slowly out there. Just want to let you know Highway 60 westbound in Grafton is still closed because of a crash at Coip Road. So you need to avoid that whole area if you want to make your way through that. Right now, 4394 southbound is going to be a bit slow coming out of the Marquette interchange. We'll take that back a step. I would say from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette all the way down to the KK River. Northbound side is going to be a bit backed up from Beecher all the way up through the Marquette, all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94, very heavy out of the Marquette, all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound side slow from 84th Street to about Hawley. And then we've also got some backups along westbound 894, pretty much what you'd expect, through the construction zone out of the Mitchell, all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, the storms are going to roll in. It's definitely going to be rainy late, a high of 50 degrees. Tomorrow, it clears out overnight. Windy, warm, chance for rain tomorrow afternoon, a high of 78. On Sunday, storms likely, a high of 61. On Monday, more rain, a high of 70. On Tuesday, mostly sunny, a high of 70 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is... I don't see this anywhere. It's not where it usually is. What is it, 50 degrees? Hey, 53 degrees. All right. Hope you're having a good Friday. On Fridays, we like to dive into a couple different stories, and we call this segment
In Case You Missed It.
Dateline, the moon.
Hello.
Texting on the moon, streaming on Mars. It's not as far away as you think. NASA is teaming up with Nokia to develop a cellular network on the moon. They say people are eventually going to be on the moon and are going to live on the moon, so we are putting a cellular network on the moon. A SpaceX rocket due to launch this year will carry a 4G network to the moon, and astronauts, when they get there, which they say will be later this decade, will be able to use this to send stuff back to Earth. They said it's not been easy because, you can't have normal equipment. It has to be able to withstand the extreme temperatures and the radiation and all that stuff. But they say eventually there will be cell service on the moon, no joke, so those astronauts can order a big fat pizza or play Candy Crush.
We'll all be paying for that in our bills.
You got that right.
In Case You Missed It.
Okay, so Williams-Sonoma, we all know that and love that. The parent company of brands like Pottery Barn and West Elm, really high-end, they just agreed to pay a $3.1 million fine because they were advertising multiple foreign-made products as made in the USA.
Oh, no, not good.
This was 4 years in the making. The Federal Trade Commission sued the home products company in 2020. The accusation was that many of the products advertised includes mattress pads sold under the Pottery Barn brand that says it was made in USA. It was made entirely in China. So the representatives for Williams-Sonoma admitted that all of the FTC allegations are true, that this deception led customers and harmed honest American businesses, as the FTC said. And it looks like a half dozen products as well were saying made in the USA, and it was not. Once again, in China. That $3.1 million settlement requires Williams-Sonoma to submit annual compliance certifications.
In Case You Missed It.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd be able to do anything for longer than, 56 hours. But a Guinness World Record is in the works of being broken. A Nigerian chess champion and child education advocate is attempting to achieve a Guinness World Record for the longest chess marathon. Tunde Onakoya started the attempt on Wednesday in New York City's Times Square and aims to use it to raise $1 million to fund education for vulnerable children across Africa. He's trying to play nonstop for 58 hours to beat the current record.
That's
which happens to be
amazing.
50. Yeah, I know. I mean, my brain would fry.
Yeah.
56 hours and 9 minutes is the current record right now. So good luck to Tunde in Times Square.
That is
In
such a
Case
happy
You
story.
Missed It.
It is 3:19 at WTMJ. Up next, it is the Week in Review. It's a Fish Fry Friday at the Mine Shaft. John Burkier here to tell you a little bit about that. The family-owned Mine Shaft in Hartford has just lowered their fish fry to, listen closely, $4.99 if you dine in. You don't have to pay $15 to $18. Your Mine Shaft fish fry is $4.99. Relax with a delicious old-fashioned Manhattan, a cold beer, or a glass of wine for a perfect fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99. They'll love the world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. The Mine Chef's Wednesday and Friday fish fry is now $4.99. That's amazing. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch is only $14.99, and the Sunday chicken dinner or a half rack of ribs dinner under $10. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Stop in for your $4.99 dine-in only Friday fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant there in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Check it out, mineshaft.restaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a weekend showdown with the Yankees, Friday, April 26th through Sunday, the 28th. Start the series with Friday's hockey night. Then take home a limited edition Brewers City Connect Tumbler Cup at the game on Saturday, the 27th. Presented by Quick Trip. Don't miss out on a marquee weekend of baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Hi, this is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. Don't let fear and anxiety hold you back from making the move to a new lifestyle that you deserve. With empathy and understanding, we're ready to help with downsizing, selling your home, and moving to the new lifestyle you deserve. Our team is ready to take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Hope you're having a great Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're out of here at 4 o'clock as Bucks basketball gets underway about 4 o'clock. This week, 2 high-profile cases involving Donald Trump, tensions rise on college campuses across the nation, an emotional conversation on Parkinson's, and more. It's a Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Mount Pleasant police initially stopped 31-year-old Lamar Hackett for speeding near Green Bay Road and Biscayne Avenue on Sunday. He then sped away, crashed the car, and ran off into the woods.
Now it's Miles Turner on Lillard. He's going to launch one anyway, and he drills it. Damian Lillard has not met a defender that can slow him down tonight. He is cooking with Crisco now.
Acknowledge receipt, enter a not guilty plea subject to our substitution request. Thank you.
There was silence in the courtroom as Maxwell Anderson, the man charged with killing and dismembering Sade Robinson, pleaded not guilty to his alleged crimes.
A full 12-person jury with 6 additional alternates sworn in, a historic criminal trial of a former president.
I'm here instead of being able to be in lots of other places campaigning, and it's very unfair.
Tensions are rising and fueling the pro-Palestinian protests on college campuses.
They held signs saying NYPD out of CUNY, NYPD out of Harlem.
I'm here today calling on President Shafiq to resign if she cannot immediately bring order to this chaos.
At Atlanta's Emory University, nearly 30 people calling for an end to the war in Gaza were arrested after Georgia troopers used pepper balls to control the crowd.
We haven't seen that violence come to our campus. I do believe it's because we really stress, finding common ground with people that are different than you.
A Milwaukee firefighter who almost died in a fire earlier this month is recovering.
In an exclusive interview, Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells us the firefighter is recovering to burns on almost 50% of his body.
This is going to be a long haul for him to recover.
Denim Day was started as a response
to an incident that happened in Italy in the 90s. Over the last 10 years, we've grown into the nation's largest nonprofit program.
The motion does not pass.
Today's failed vote at the WIAA's annual meeting in Stevens Point sends leaders back to the drawing board when it comes to name, image, and likeness.
On the high school level, we're not selling Devin Harris jerseys. We're just trying to get opportunities for these kids to play. That's what it's all about.
We will hear argument this morning in case 23-939, Trump versus United States.
Not lost on the bench, the stakes of this constitutional moment.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could, and why?
If they don't get this figured out, define what an official act is, what are we doing in our justice system?
High fly ball out to right. Back is Reynolds at the track. Wall gone! El Kraken gives the Brewers the lead.
Release the Kraken.
The Green Bay Packers and hosts for the 2025 NFL Draft. Select Jordan Morgan, tackle, Arizona.
Oh.
Yay.
Can't wait to get to Green Bay and get to work.
Go, Pack, go.
Usually, if you listen to the show regularly, right now we do the 3 at 3. We have a very special hour that we're doing instead during this 3 o'clock hour, and it's a deeper look at Parkinson's, early onset Parkinson's. And I'm honored to be joined in the studio by Julia and her husband, Jason Klappa.
I made a promise to all of you who are listening and everyone here at 620 WTMJ that when I was hired, I was going to share all of myself. And what happened to my husband and the disease that we are now facing is a huge part of our lives now.
It's not a death sentence. Life is not over. You know, your life will be different. It'll be harder, but keep fighting. Things will get better.
He certainly is an inspiration to me.
What a week.
Hop it up.
Sack of birdies. Keep fighting. Things will get better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
All right. The Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Nice way to end the week. NASDAQ surged 2% and everything was in the green. The NASDAQ was up 316 points to close at 15,928. The Dow was up 153 to close at 38,239. And the S&P was up 51 points on the day. It ends at 5,099. Just under 5,100. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button now. It's Annex Wealth Management.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. Inflation only records the size of price increases. When it goes down, prices are still higher than they were before. In fact, a recent study showed investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat to their investment and retirement plans. We don't blame you if you're concerned about how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence. It's time to meet with the team at Annex Wealth Management for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. We'll review what you own. We'll work together to build a plan that's right for you and your family. And we'll guide you on your way to achieving the kind of retirement you desire. Whatever's kickstarting your questions, market volatility, global unrest, an upcoming presidential election, or stubborn inflation, it's time to know the difference. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Click the Get Started button at AnnexWealth.com.
So when our parents were moving from the farm to town when they retired, all these old pieces had to go somewhere because they were getting a smaller place. So we each got some furniture.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
There was one piece that still had our grandmother's name on it. It was the delivery ticket, basically. It was on the back of the piece, written with lead pencil. And instead of an address, it just said her name, Boyd, Wisconsin. That was the delivery address.
Then that's all you needed for an address.
Yeah.
That was the piece of furniture that all five of us kids wanted. You know, of all the furniture, that had grandma's name on it.
Today, I tell people that ask me, like, okay, I bought this piece of heirloom furniture. Is there anything special I should do with it? Flip it over, turn it around, take a magic marker, and write on that thing your name, when you bought this, where you bought it from, why you bought it. That piece will be cherished in your family for centuries to come.
People want to be connected to their ancestors a little bit, and this is one way of doing that.
And the furniture we're building today, 300 years from now, somebody's going to be like, wow, that thing was well built for its time.
PennyMustard.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a missing boy's mother back in court.
I'm Julia Fellow. A popular event canceled for good.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound Highway 60 in Grafton still closed at Coip Road because of a crash. So trying to avoid that area. Hefty ride right now from Main Street, Menominee Falls on 41 southbound. And that takes you all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Burleigh. Southbound 43, we've got backups from before Silver Spring, stretching all the way down past Keefe and then back on the brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette down towards Oklahoma Avenue. With the northbound side, basically the same delay as northbound from Oklahoma Avenue through the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you happen to see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. The low will be 50 degrees. Saturday, partly cloudy, windy, and warm. A chance of evening showers and storms are possible. Strong storms as well. Be weather aware. The high will be 78 degrees. Right now, it's 53 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the mother of a missing 3-year-old from Two Rivers was back in court as attorneys planned further proceedings. Katrina Bauer is charged with felony chronic neglect of a child, but not in the disappearance of her son Elijah Vu. She'll return to court again Tuesday for a motion hearing. Vu's been missing for more than 2 months. His caretaker, Jesse Vang, also faces child neglect charges and is due back in court in June.
Al's Run, an annual fundraiser for Children's Wisconsin, canceled last year, is never coming back.
Hi, Al McGuire. It's for Al's Run.
Launched in 1978, Al's Run raised more than $20 million over the years. WTMJ has learned Children's Wisconsin Foundation is informing past participants the event is not going to continue in its current form. Quote, after a year of listening to ideas from many stakeholders, we are looking forward to a brand new event in 2025. Children's has not figured out what that event will be. As security and other costs have soared, fundraising and participation in the event have declined. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Britain's King Charles returning to public duties next week for the first time since being diagnosed with cancer. CBS's Michael Toscano.
Buckingham Palace says the king has been making good progress recuperating following treatment for an unspecified form of cancer. Little information about his condition was given in this latest announcement, and it's not known how much longer any treatment might last. For his first public outing since the treatment began in February, the 75-year-old king and Queen Camilla will visit a cancer treatment center this coming Tuesday.
The king was last seen publicly on Easter Sunday.
A confirmed case of measles in Dane County. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services working to identify and notify people who have been exposed. It's supposed to be rare in Wisconsin because of high vaccination rates, but measles is highly contagious and can cause serious health complications for those who are not vaccinated.
Saturday marks the National Drug Take-Back Day, with Wisconsin health officials encouraging residents to get rid of any unused or expired drugs. Kenosha County Director of Aging, Disability, and Behavioral Health, Carrie Foss, tells Spanning the State there's a wide variety of medicine you can bring to a collection site.
You can bring us anything as long as it's not an aerosol and as long as it doesn't have a sharp needle with it. We are willing to accept any prescribed over-the-counter as well.
And Wisconsinites can find over 100 drop-off sites across the state, including most police departments and in Milwaukee at the VA Medical Center.
Could Pizza Man be making a swift return to our city? According to the Journal-Sentinel, a permit to install 2 exterior signs that say Pizza Man at its former Eastside location was just filed with the city yesterday. The Downer Avenue space has been vacant since Pizza Man left last year. The sign permit was just filed just a few weeks after the closure of Pizza Man's Humboldt Avenue location. It operated for less than a year. Pizza Man has not commented.
Just in time for Arbor Day and the end of Forest Appreciation Week, millions of trees will take root in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is part of the Trillion Tree Pledge, a global goal to conserve and restore 1 trillion trees by 2030. Governor Tony Evers announcing he's increasing Wisconsin's goal of planting 75 million.
On Earth Day, I signed an executive order to increase our goal to 100 million trees by the end of 2030.
And with this new goal,
we'll be able to store and exchange a total of 4.8 billion pounds of carbon dioxide a year through trees planted alone.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Our Packers own 4 picks on day 2 of the NFL Draft. 2 in the second round, and 2 in the third. After back-to-back wins over the Pirates in Pittsburgh, our Brewers return home for a weekend series against the Yankees. Hear tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 7:10. Giannis is out. Chris Middleton questionable for today's playoff game against the Pacers in Indiana. Coverage of the game begins at 4 o'clock right here on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
$1, just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to cleanorigin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Sunday will mark 30 years since the Ted and James Oswald shootout in Waukesha County. The father and son from Watertown are serving life in prison for a deadly crime spree that took the life of Waukesha Police Captain James Lutz. In 1994, on a cool Thursday morning, the Oswalds led law enforcement on a long chase before they were ultimately captured following a shootout with police that was all caught on camera. WTMJ's Eric Bilstad shares what happened through the eyes of 3 people who were there that day.
I did not know when I was leaving the newsroom that I would end up being in the middle of a shootout that day, but that's exactly what happened.
911, we just got robbed. This is Angie calling from Bank One in Wales.
I'm Renee Riddle. Back in 1994, I was a TV news reporter for Channel 12 News. I was one of the few people that was in the newsroom at that early hour when we got call of an officer down in Waukesha County.
Officer down, shots fired at the police.
My name is Stephen Peterson. I was assigned to the Detective Bureau with the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, and we were conducting surveillance on a location that we were potentially going to execute a search warrant.
I was District Attorney Paul Booker. I was sitting in a circuit court handling calendar call, nothing special, and my deputy DA, Michael Bundy at the time, came up to me, and I knew something wasn't good, and he whispered in my ear, and I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he was shot and killed." I'm like, "Oh my God." So I ran downstairs and off we went.
I'm hearing clearly radio traffic that indicated to me that something serious was going on. I didn't know what it was.
The assignment editor at the time just saw me, saw the first photographer, and said, "You and Bobby hit the road." And so Bobby and I just followed the action. It was obvious that this was a hot pursuit.
Every 15 seconds, there was a new report. High-speed pursuit, stolen car, abandoned down the road. They were on foot, hijacked another car at Interstate Printing. I remember all these places.
I heard someone jump on the air and just said, "Call out SWAT, call out SWAT."
They were escaping the scene of the crime where they had executed Captain James Lutz.
The first place we went was where Captain Lutz was executed on in Waukesha on Woodridge Lane there. And I remember looking in the car. I saw Jim, who was just in my office, actually. But he came in to talk to me about a case. He was not happy with my decision. In this case, I saw him holding a shotgun in his hand, and his foot was on the brake. His lights were activated. Car was running, and I won't get into gruesome detail, but it'll be seared in my brain forever.
At this point, I have no idea that there's been a bank robbery, shooting, and killing of a city of Waukesha police officer. I have no idea of that. I just know that it sounds like there's some type of a hostage situation going on Oak Street.
Bobby and I just followed the action, and that took us to a park in Waukesha County, Oak Park.
Clearly, additional help was needed.
James and Ted had broken into a house, taken a woman, Judy Opat, hostage.
They had broken in the patio window and entered the house. And so that's where we went, and we staged right outside Oak Park. I remember sitting in the FBI van.
As I arrive on the location, it is at that time that Jim and Ted Oswald start driving this van that they had taken from the hostage.
Literally had just gotten the camera out of the trunk of the car when all of a sudden a van comes barreling down the road. Police had set up a blockade, and before we knew it, we found ourselves in the middle of a full-fledged shootout.
Unbelievable. They come out shooting, which of course nobody expected, and they are shooting hundreds of rounds out the side. Some of these were armor-piercing bullets. They're blue-tipped.
Officers were taking cover behind their vehicles. The Oswalds were firing their rounds. They were going right through.
Deputy Linda Lorenz, and she fires 6 rounds. Perfect circle into the windshield. Just absolutely perfect. And as a result of those rounds that Deputy Lorenz, now retired, fired, he veered to the right. They struck that tree at a high rate of speed. The hero of Oak Street was the oak tree. And you can hear Officer Lorenz screaming, "Yoo-hoo!"
They clearly were trapped in the vehicle as a result of the crash.
It took 2 hours after the crash for James and Ted Oswald to be extracted from that van. The Waukesha SWAT team literally had to bring in snow plows to act as cover.
Is there anybody on our team that knows how to drive a V-type snowplow? We were fortunate that we had somebody that was able to do that.
Jim had a gun under his seat, and he couldn't reach it because of his injuries. Had he reached it, I don't know if he would have had these trials. I don't know, I'm guessing.
Eric Bilstead, a story that those who are from the area will never forget. The Oswalds 30 years ago on this Sunday. It is 3:42 at WTMJ.
We got one.
And the Bucks will take game 1 against the Pacers.
You got one.
They have evened the series at 1 apiece.
Now that we've been gentlemanly, time to get mean.
Giannis puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through once again. He comes down with that mean mug.
It's the Bucks and the Pacers in the first round of the playoffs. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage of Game 3 starts tonight at 4. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter. They're great dogs. And now they're even greater because they listen better. And it wasn't their fault. I didn't know what I was doing. Good thing that Sit Means Sit Dog Training knows what they're doing because they helped me. They helped Michelle. They helped us become better dog owners. Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They'll let you go in for a free consultation. That's what we did. We met the owner, Matt, and he talked us through everything. Matt met Bella and Baxter. And then we went. And it's fantastic. Bella and Baxter listen better. They're not as jumpy. They come when they're supposed to. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. You can start with that free consultation. Multiple locations. Have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Spring into savings this month at Heiser Automotive. It's the perfect time to upgrade into a new or used vehicle, and just in time to enjoy the warmer weather. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. Our team will assist throughout the process to help you make the best decision. Plus, as an added thank you, you'll receive our exclusive Safe and Sound program. This includes the Vehicle Exchange Program, Roadside Assistance for Life, and much more. See all details at Heiser.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Wisconsin State Fair has $12 group tickets on sale now. Hurry, the sale ends April 30th. Visit wistatefair.com to save big for group tickets.
Traffic and weather. Let's get out to the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julie, we still have this closure. Highway 60 westbound in Grafton closed at Coip Road because of a serious crash. So trying to avoid that area if you can. Boy, we got delays pretty much everywhere else. We got southbound on 41 slowing down from basically Main Street, Menominee Falls, all the way down past Highway Q, past Capitol Drive. Right now from Highway Q to the zoo, it is going to be a 21-minute ride. On a good day, it's usually only 14. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down between Highway 67 and Highway 83. Back on the brakes from Highway F all the way through the Gerke's Corners area. Does not really let up until you get past Calhoun. And then you're back on the brakes from about 92nd Street through the stadium. Westbound 94 heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. And then on southbound 894 slowing down right past Beloit Road down and around the Hale to Forest Home, with the westbound side slow with the construction out of the Mitchell Interchange all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, you can see more isolated thunderstorms. Showers right now, mostly cloudy and breezy. The low will be 50 degrees. The wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, windy, warm. A chance of evening showers and storms. Strong storms possible as well. Be weather aware. The high will be 78 degrees. Sunday, more storms possible. The high 61. Monday, more storms again. The high of 70. Tuesday, you get to see the sun. Finally, the high will be 70. Right now in Milwaukee, it's raining and 52 degrees.
Southwest Airlines is the number one carrier out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Far and away, they are number one, the most flights, the most arrivals and departures, and the most seats. Could Southwest be in for some changes? The answer is yes. ABC's Alex Stone covers aviation for ABC News, and he is with us. Alex, there's two things here. It's what's going on right now with their organization and what they might do for changes in the future. Maybe let's start with what's happening with their financials. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us.
Hey there, John. Yeah, all the airlines are having a tough go of it in the last couple of months. Some of it being jet fuel prices. You see it when you go fill up your car, that just to put 15 gallons in costs a lot more. Think of tens of thousands of gallons of Jet A fuel going into a Boeing 737 or an even bigger aircraft, and the airlines are hurting. They're also signing new deals, collective bargaining deals, new contracts with their workers that are going to be costing them a lot more, so labor costs are up. Then there is the Boeing issue. The Boeing is not delivering because of all the problems it's having right now, the planes that the airlines thought they were going to get. So Southwest and United are abruptly stopping pilot hiring because they're not going to have the planes that they thought they had. And you add to it with the fuel prices and everything else, Southwest says it lost $231 million this quarter. That's unusual for Southwest. They say that they're going to have to deal with it. They're getting creative, cutting Syracuse, cutting Bellingham, Washington, George Bush Intercontinental in Houston. They still have big operations in Houston, but not at George Bush. They've got it. They're cutting Cozumel. They're going to be cutting way back in Chicago and in Atlanta. So they're making some big changes, but they say that they're going to try to figure out how to right this ship. But right now they're losing a lot of money.
That's unfortunate. Is it going to cost more, Alex, for consumers because there's going to be less flights?
Well, maybe. And some have said that they've already seen prices going up, and it would be pretty normal that when fuel prices go up that they've got to make up that money somehow, and it typically is passed along to the consumer. American Airlines, they yesterday put out their numbers. $312 million was the loss because of mainly labor costs and fuel for American Airlines. So Southwest is by no means alone, but the airlines say that they've got to get creative again. And, getting creative is where bag fees came from and buy on board came from and all these things that now we live with. But Southwest says that they are actively looking at, and this is where you're going to get half of the population saying, oh, thank goodness, finally, and the other half saying, no, that it's going to change what Southwest has always been, actively looking at assigned seating
at a
first
finally.
Class on board.
You didn't like that, John?
Thank goodness. I don't fly Southwest because that stresses me out so much.
See, you were part of that population, and then there are other people who say, well, that's the only reason why they fly Southwest, and that's what they want. So they are looking at premium seating of some kind, of assigned seating as well. The CEO, Bob Jordan of Southwest, telling investors this.
Just to be transparent, we've been seriously studying this question around, onboard seating in our cabin for a while.
And he says they have been doing studies and that they are pretty shocked by what they're finding. The customer preferences have changed over the years, and assigned seats and first class is something that Southwest customers say that they want, or they're going to go to another airline like you, John, where you say, well, I don't want to deal with that, and 12 hours or 24 hours before be hitting refresh to get in, or pay for early bird, and you still get, B25, and you go, oh, man, there's other people going to be on board already. He says that they have found that the current model that we all know of Southwest, that it has become outdated over the years because of this.
But it was designed at a time when load factors were lower, and higher load factors do change the way preferences work, the operation works, and also our customer. We know the customer expectations change over time
because other airlines are doing things that you say, well, now they've got to do it as well. And when the planes are fuller, the fuller load factors there that. You had 20 years ago where you could get really whatever letter and number you wanted to board, and you probably wouldn't have anybody sitting next to you. You wouldn't be stuck in the middle. Now you're going to be stuck in the middle on that 4-hour flight, and people don't want that, and they'll go to an airline where they can know what their seat assignment is going to be. The other thing is first class. That is just money for airlines.
Yeah.
So I'm a cynic, Alex. I'm flying out tomorrow to Hilton Head, and I just today, before I came into the show, bought my bags online. They're leaving too much money on the table. I mean, all this ancillary revenue from first class, premium economy, bags, I think they're just realizing that, we're leaving it on the table.
Yeah, exactly what they're saying. So even though like a first class, a bigger seat doesn't cost them anything, they can charge you a lot more for it. And they just make money like crazy off of airlines do, off of premium class travel. But the other part of that being the checked bags, that question of would they get rid of the free checked bags, they have debated that over the years because the other airlines are making about $4 billion a year off of checked bags. That is money that, should they be charging it, the current leadership at Southwest says they are not considering it.
Good.
They believe they get more business out of advertising free checked bags than they would get by charging for checked bags. Again, that'll change again at some point down the road. I would argue that with these other changes, they don't also want to say, and we're going to be charging you for bags.
Yeah.
But they say right now, no, that bags will remain free.
Right, because that was the charm of them. That's what kind of like sets them apart from the rest, was that, the seating charts, and that you don't
you have to wait in line like a kindergartner, though. You're like lining up. You don't know where you're going to sit.
It is
People
a
are
little
saving
anxious.
seats that are not supposed to.
They are.
But don't you have to wonder what first class on Southwest would look like? I mean, are they going to be? Is it just a seat, or are they actually going to be doing meals? Are they going to have glassware on board and better drinks?
Good,
I would say
question.
probably just a bigger seat more than anything.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Kind of like
ABC's
Spirit, the
Alex
big front
Stone.
seat or whatever they call that.
Alex,
Spirit.
have a great weekend.
You got it. Bye, guys.
Have you ever flown Spirit?
No, never. And I never will. Have you? Spirit and Frontier they're on my do not fly list.
Yes.
No, I don't want to pay to even just have to walk into the door. Like, it's $79 to fly to Denver. Then it's $17 to get your seat assignment. Then it's $17 to them to show you how to buckle your seatbelt.
Right.
$24 for a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't do it. No. I hope Southwest thrives, though. Southwest is the number one carrier in and out of Milwaukee. And when Southwest is healthy, our airport is healthy. And that is a really big deal. Hey, really quickly here before business headlines, Salute to Service is coming up. You ought to consider being part of this. Steve Scafidi salutes first responders. It's presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. You can nominate your first responder now at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app. The nomination period goes until May 10th. So get those nominations in. Help us honor and salute those people who are our first responders. It's the 2024 Salute to Service. It is 3:54 at WTMJ. Business headlines. Here's Teddy Nightkell at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Even as home prices continue to rise statewide and in southeast Wisconsin, a local economist says multiple interest rate cuts in 2024 is becoming increasingly unlikely. The median southeast Wisconsin home price jumped to $300,000 in March, a 9% increase compared with last year. Harley-Davidson